Hi, my name is Tamanda Storr, and today I'm going to be discussing why financial literacy should be mandatory in education. How many of you remember learning how to solve an equation such as y equals mx plus b? Most of us were taught that pretty early on in middle school or high school math classes, and we spent hours, months, even years learning how to graph that, memorize the formula, and get the solution to that equation. Now, if I were to ask you how many of you were ever taught how to build your own credit score, or taught how to file your own taxes, make a monthly budget, or even understand how interest works on a loan? Speaking from personal experience, I made a handful of financial mistakes because I simply didn't know better. This ranged from missing a credit card payment after mindlessly signing up for one and not understanding the effects, as well as applying for loans, just being curious but not knowing how it affects my credit in a hard way. Money is a part of life for everybody, yet most students or even young adults don't know the basics and were never taught, so they don't know how to handle it well. Today I will be discussing the lack of financial education in schools and explain why making it mandatory would help and show the benefits to both students and society. To understand why financial literacy should be mandatory, first we need to understand what it is. Financial literacy is the ability to understand and use various financial skills. This could be budgeting, saving, managing your debt, and being responsible financially. Planning for your future as well would be financial literacy. It's not just about understanding what money is or the specific currency, but it's knowing how to make smart decisions for yourself in your current life and your future. Most students end up leaving high school unprepared to manage their money. School teaches us things like algebra, it teaches us science, literature, and although all those things are important and we can use them in our adult life to analyze text better or do simple math equations, it tends to skip over basic life skills that are emphasized, such as saving and understanding taxes or budgeting. According to the National Financial Educators Council, in 2022, 38% of Americans said they lost over $500 due to the lack of financial knowledge, and 15% said they lost over $10,000. Students graduate and they immediately face hard decisions, whether it's rent, loans, credit cards, and jobs, but they don't have the adequate knowledge to be able to make the correct decisions. Leaving with no education often ends up in debt and mistakes, which is why financial literacy is very important and should be taught. Making financial literacy a required class would easily solve this problem, whether it was in a high school level or a middle school level or just emphasized in a math setting. A financial literacy class would teach skills such as budgeting, how interest works, managing credit scores, filing taxes, how to be able to take 20% off something or add a better tip on as well. Simple things that people today tend to struggle with that truly should be emphasized in schooling. The Council for Economic Education found that students who take financial literacy classes tend to have better credit scores. They can save more and they avoid payday loans. For those who don't know what payday loans are, they're known to be a vicious cycle. They sound very enticing. If you need money up front and you don't have the funds to pay it back, come your payday, it'll automatically pull the money out of your paycheck. And it ends up being a cycle that most people can't get out of because they tend to rely on the money up front. With this cycle, I feel like financial literacy classes would be able to help students know what to avoid and also understand what is better for them, their credit, and what will benefit them in the future. Teaching these skills early helps students feel more confident and be prepared to make smart money decisions for themselves and in their future. Financial literacy benefits individuals, it can benefit the economy, and it can also benefit families. Most students who grow up in homes where money isn't discussed or where financial struggles exist, school might be their only chance to learn about that financial money management. A lot of the times, people who have found themselves with limited money, when they have access to it, find themselves spending it irresponsibly. Knowing how to invest your money, where to put your money, how to save, better financial choices that are taught in school, because they might not be taught at home, could really save a young adult. CNBC reported that many young adults feel unprepared because they weren't taught about money, leading to regrets about handling loans and credit cards. I am one of those young adults, as I've said before, and I believe that teaching financial literacy can help break cycles of poverty and build a stronger economy. If we are able to teach this early on, it can reduce reliance on government assistance and even increase saving and investing for our overall economy. In conclusion, as I have been stating, I do believe that financial literacy should be mandatory in education, whether it is in middle school, high school, or really emphasized throughout our educational journey. Financial literacy should not be left to chance, as too many students graduate without essential money management skills. Requiring financial literacy classes would help students with practical tools, prevent costly mistakes, and also promote financial stability. Financial literacy is important for preparing students for life, so schools should treat it as a mandatory subject, as it always in turn affects us. Thank you for listening.